Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. I'm telling you, we've got to talk about what's better. Yeah, let's do it that way. There seems to be two really key factors when it comes to manifesting for most people. This is Dan RadioStyle, by the way, trying to help you through these manifesting problems that we have. And there's a couple key things that I think most people kind of miss out on. One, by the way, and this is going to piss off a bunch of you right up front. So right up front, I'm going to throw it out there because I want to make sure we go ahead and let you either A, accept it, or B, you can go ahead and click on over. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm a very successful manifester. I've created on a separate platform, a different channel. This is kind of why I don't do a lot of videos here anymore, because I'm actually busy doing it, creating and growing and expanding. And I've done very well in the process. And I'm trying to help you guys understand how to do the same thing I'm doing too. It's not hard. Anyone can do it. But there are some very key things involved. I've manifested money. I've manifested success. I've manifested people into my life. And I want to help you do exactly the same thing. Now, one of the key things most people don't realize, we'll start with the easy one. People don't believe in the process. Now, I've talked it before. My big thing that I like to talk about is manifesting a beach ball. A beach ball was the first thing I manifested. It changed my entire life. It changed my entire way of looking at the way I interact with the universe, or my life, or essentially, or what I experience. Because really, what is it? What is what you experience? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it just what? Because ultimately, you're with you all the time, 100% of the time. Nobody else really experiences what you experience 100% of the time. And then that goes through your filters, your beliefs, your whatevers. That's how you perceive the world around you. Somebody else could be standing right next to you, witness the same thing. They're not necessarily going to have the same experience of it. It's just the way it works. So your thoughts, your feelings, how you believe whether something's possible or not, whether or not you believe any of this nonsense works. See, that's the instant breakage right there. Now, there's a testing, and that's where the beach ball comes into play. There's a testing of it to kind of be like, oh, does this kind of work? And you find out, well, yes, it does. Now, my beach ball experience, I imagined a beach ball. And I came up with this. This was just me because I live in California, right? And it's possible to see beach balls, but they're not everywhere. I don't have a swimming pool. My neighbors don't have a pool. Like, it's not like an actual beach ball is going to accidentally blow over the neighbor's fence, right? It's not going to happen. But it is something that's possible, and that's key. Okay, if you're asking for something crazy, you're 5 foot tall, and you're like, can I manifest myself being 6 feet? Maybe, but, right, like you're jumping into a place where now you're getting into all sorts of difficulties in the challenge of belief. If it's something that's possible, then it makes it much better. Now, a lot of you are like, but Dan, what if I'm trying to manifest something that's not possible? Then do it in steps. What's the next step that's possible? Trying to manifest a specific person in your life? I want them to be my relationship, but it's not possible. All right, what about you guys talking again and just kind of conversating, right? Like, that's an example. Or I'm trying to get into a company, but they don't ever let people in like at the level of what I want to get into, but you really want to be at that company? Then find a lower level. Come in and grow and get through it that way. There's always a way. Don't let our limitations, our thoughts, our hindrances within our own mind, don't let that stop you, because it's what it's going to. You're your worst critic. You want to be successful, you have to think successful thoughts. You have to envision yourself being successful. You can't just haphazardly walk through manifestation. You must take ownership for everything you're thinking, everything you're saying, everything you're doing, because that is what is leading you to your tomorrow. So if you're trying to create something, imagine that something, believe that something, know that is what's going to happen, because this is how the law of attraction works. It's a law. It works, and you'll find that out, and you'll prove that to yourself. I can't prove it to you. There's a law of confusion that actually keeps that from happening. You must walk through this keyhole yourself, your pinhole, this whatever it is. You do it and start to see, and you continue through that. Now, there's all sorts of things we can add to the destination-driven aspects of this. Like, there's a lot to say about manifesting, but it ultimately comes down to two key points. Knowing that it works and doing and believing and holding that value. Like, no matter what, like, today sucky things happened, but I know tomorrow has to get better because I know this is where I'm going. You're traveling on a journey, sometimes it rains, some days. And some days just suck, and some days are awesome. You have that. No matter what, even on the awesome days, keep focused on where you're going. Might have had a great day. They texted you finally. Awesome. But don't get weird. Don't jump ahead. Don't be reacting to them as the wish is fulfilled, because what will happen in a lot of cases is you'll freak people out. Keep that inside yourself. Don't need to share that with other people. Talk to them like the way they're coming at you. Maybe try to bump it up a small notch, but never go crazy. Because I'm telling you, when you jump it up a bunch of notches, you've pushed too far. And that's the second point I wanted to bring up. For any of you trying to manifest things that involve people, now if it's a job and there's a boss or something weird like that, that's oftentimes easier to get around, right? Just manifest the thing. Hold the view of what you're trying to get to, and the people around you will either A, get on board, or B, get sidestepped. Who knows? Things happen. Just stay focused on what you're trying to get to, and that'll happen. It just does. That's how it works. But for those of us trying to manifest like specific people into our lives, you have to understand, and I've said it before, it's super easy to get somebody to interact with you in real life. But it is no guarantee that they will be exactly what you want them to be. Now, there's a lot of people that believe that. There's a lot of people that believe in determinism. And what I'm going to tell you is one of the biggest mistakes we make is we don't give other people's souls credit for being individuals. Another way to say that, we don't accept the sovereignty of someone else. That's a big no-no. That's a huge no-no. A lot of people teach that you can do that. Just think it. Just think the thoughts, and so shall it be, even if it's another individual. I'm here to tell you that's not true. I'm here to tell you that's karmically bad for you. What I am saying is, if you want to get back with a specific person, if you want to have a relationship with a specific person, hold that vision, hold that image, hold that love in your heart. But at the same time, understand the quality of who you are as an individual will matter in this picture. The energy that you vibrate at will matter at this picture, because the individual that you're trying to manifest has a say in the matter. And if you're maybe trying to get back with someone, but you still don't understand what their concerns or problems or upsetness was, you still don't care what they think, well, you're never going to get back together at that pace. You have to acknowledge and grow and learn from what it is. It's a relationship. There's another individual involved. People hate this. This is not what you want to hear. But this is the truth. Other people are their own beings. There is free will, unfortunately. And for those that don't believe in free will, you're actually trying to believe that individuals are yours to do with which you want. And there's a darker side of life that believes those kinds of things, or service to self paths that believes those kind of things. It's a harder path in this time and place right now than the path of accepting that others are their own beings. I'm just giving the advice. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to like it. But I think if you incorporate it, if you understand it, and you realize that people are taking you for who you are, and if who you are isn't necessarily the best version of you, maybe you need to work on you. Maybe your problem is not so much my manifestation techniques, but the problem is every time they meet me, I freak out, I get angry, they say something nice for a second, and I'm really great, and then I get gloomy, and then they freak out on me because I'm getting too weird and attached. How many of us cross that barrier? How many of us cross that line? Take it in steps. Let it grow. It's so important to remember it's a journey. That's one thing that's been a big deal in my experience of law of attraction. Has been It's a journey. I don't just instantly wake up and suddenly things are changing. Tomorrow, in a day, I could have someone reach out that opens up doorways that I didn't know were going to be there. So things do change very quickly when you set yourself on the path and realize that this is what's in front of you. And I am going to experience what I'm setting forth in my path. And individuals that you would like to be with, respect the fact that they're individuals, and you'll do significantly better. I love you guys. You can do this. Dan Radio Style.